Morning, cutie. I don't think I will ever get bored of having the privilege to see such a stunning sight as you when you first wake up. No, it's actually still the middle of the night. It's about 3 in the morning. Did the storm wake you? That's good. uh, did I? I know I didn't turn the lamp on, but that's sweet, really. And I appreciate it. But I don't need it, remember? I'm just fine like this. So I'm good. Really. I I was gonna apologize in the morning, but I went and grabbed some of your printer paper and a pen, and I'm just drawing. I haven't had the inspiration or desire to in a really long time. And laying here, cuddled up next to you, watching you sleep, I was just suddenly struck and needed to. Yeah. It isn't anything great. I'm more than a little rusty after about a decade without drawing at all, and it isn't finished, but sure. Hang on, I'm gonna turn on the lamp. Watch your eyes. Here. You don't need to lie to me. I was going to school to judge this stuff, remember? But even a completed Michelangelo couldn't stand in comparison to the beauty of the model I have tonight. You can't blame a girl for trying. And I think your bedhead is adorable. Endearing? Then how about reminds me of what caused it last night? It looked an awful lot like this when my fingers were buried in it. All right, endearing it is then. I love you. I feel so much lighter every time I tell you. I don't think I'll ever get tired of hearing you say it either. Hmm. So, trying to charm you into ignoring that didn't work. It just means I'll try harder next time. Fair warning. I didn't mean to give it up. Creating art wasn't ever my passion. I've never been amazing at it. No one would ever confuse anything I drew with anything they'd ever want to display in their homes, let alone pay money for. But I loved doing it. It was something that kept me continually connected to what I truly loved, which is the art itself. I had this sketchbook back before that was full of the most random things. A loose pencil sketch of my mom's purse when she visited my apartment one time, and it had slumped over in the most fascinating way on my counter. A pastel rendering of my favorite tie that my dad owns, or owned. I guess I don't know if he still has it or not. There was a colored pencil duplicate of the pattern of the bedspread I had at the time. I imagine my mom's got that sketchbook on her nightstand now, knowing her. But anyway, I tried to draw after I first moved here. I went down to the beach, that spot I've taken you to, and I opened a notebook and ended up staring at a blank page for 4 hours. I just couldn't. No matter how much I wanted to, or how many times I touched the tip of the pencil to the paper, nothing happened. I tried a few more times, off and on after that. I've got a sketchbook again, but most of the drawings are half done, rough outlines and more thought than a finished picture. But I also haven't touched it in probably 3 years, 4. This is the first piece I've wanted to finish, that I've needed to finish since I was turned. Saying you brought meaning back into my life makes me sound so much more naive and sheltered and frankly fucking codependent than I mean for it to. But in some ways, you did. You've helped me remember who I am underneath all of this. Being with you has helped me find parts of myself that I'd forgotten, that I thought I'd lost in living in this reality, this life I lead now. Even apart from the natural changes that come with aging, ignoring the fact that my physical aging is fairly non-existent anymore, I still experience the same mental and emotional shifts and growth that happened to everyone else as the years tick by. Even apart from those, I'd lost some of myself along the way to figuring out how to exist like this. And I hadn't even realized it. Thank you for helping me find my way back to me, even though you didn't know you were doing it at the time. Yeah, of course. If you want it, I mean. I was just gonna tape it in my sketchbook when I got back home. Then it's yours. I do. It's yours to do with as you wish. Just like my heart. Okay, yeah, that one was kind of bad, I'll admit. But it's still the truth. Come here. Now, what do you say to the idea of us cuddling up and listening to the rain for a little bit? Perfect. Let me just... There. I love nights like this anyway. The quiet, gentle rain against the window. But having you here in my arms just takes it over the top. I love holding you close like this. Yeah, I always have. The rhythmic tapping against the glass is just soothing. Although, I used to be so scared of storms when I was little. Anytime it rained, I used to wake up and run down the hall to my parents' room and just dive under the covers right between them. When I was in high school, we had a dog who did the same thing. Nothing fazed that dog apart from thunder. Funniest thing. Anyway, my mom tolerated it up to a point, but she'd always try to convince me storms weren't anything to be scared of. I remember my mom used to talk about how she felt about them when she was a little girl. She grew up on a farm, and she told me once it was her favorite way to go to sleep. Listening to the quiet summer storms with the thunder rolling over the hills. I think I told her once that was only because all the animals were in the barn and quiet when it rained. She never did disagree with me. But I see where she's coming from now. It's gentle and comforting. It's like your own personal cocoon. I think now it was the thunder, or the fear of thunder. I've never been good with sudden, loud noises. I'm still not. And if I'm being totally honest, that's gotten a little worse. I probably should work on that at some point, but that's a complicated one to sort through, really. For now, just don't pop any balloons or anything without warning me, and I'll be fine. No, the thunder part isn't quite as bad. I've been able to learn how to accept that one. I love fireworks, but I have to be far enough away to not have the detonation be percussive. we can also go through my list of issues later. They aren't really important right this second. Unless you've got a firecracker under your pillow you're intending to surprise me with? I mean, I know you've got one in your arms, but... Hey, I'm proud of that one. Every now and then they're good, and that was definitely one of them. I do, in fact, say so myself. When I was turned, I knew a lot was going to change emotionally, not because I couldn't feel things anymore, and not because of some weird self-defeating psychological belief that the more you experience an emotion, the more numb to it you become. So joy wouldn't feel as joyful, or sorrow wouldn't be as painful. That's bullshit. But I knew things would change because my perception of my life had physically completely changed. I've had happiness and love and laughter in my life since I was turned. There have been good things. There have been good people. But this, sharing this moment with you, sharing myself with you like I have, I'm honestly, truly happier than I've ever been. But it's more than that. Laying here next to you, the rain against the window, the feel of your skin under my fingers, the weight of you against me. For the first time in a long fucking time, I feel peaceful. Thank you for helping me find that. Speaking of peaceful, you're looking pretty peaceful yourself. What do you say we both try to get some sleep? Yeah. I love